Do you need some cards from today's episode? Well, you can pick them up and support the show from our sponsor, Card Kingdom. Just follow the link in the description box down below. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and today we're talking about getting started on Magic Online, the 2020 edition. So if you've ever wondered about how to get started playing Magic Online, been intimidated by the process of playing Magic Online, we got you covered. We're going to jump through basically everything you need to know to start playing Magic Online, along with some tips and tricks on how to get the most out of your Magic Online experience. So that's our plan for today. Before we jump into it though, there's one really big question, which is why play Magic Online? Why, with Magic Arena being released and being played, why would you actually choose to play Magic Online? And here, I think there are three really big reasons. So, the biggest reason, by far, to play Magic Online is that Magic Online has all the formats in Magic. You can play Vintage, Legacy, Pauper, Modern, Pioneer, Commander, 4-player Commander. You can play it all in then some cube drafts. There are so many different options. So, Magic Arena, it's really good at letting you play Standard, and it's really good at letting you play bot drafts. But if you want to draft against real people, or you want to play Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, any older format, Magic Online has got you covered, having almost every card in the entire history of Magic. There's a small number of really old, weird, obscure, wacky cards that haven't made it onto Magic Online yet, but something like 99% of the cards in Magic's history are on Magic Online. So that is number one. As I mentioned, another big reason is if you're a limited fan, you get to play real limited instead of the bot drafts on Magic Arena, where they could be a little bit weird, even salved, arguably. You have real drafts against real people on Magic Online, which is a really nice upside, and that includes flashback drafts to cool old sets like Invasion and Rise of the Eldrazi, classic formats of the past, as well as cube drafts, which are really, really fun. The third reason, is Magic Online is really convenient, and it's also really safe. In a world where social distancing, coronavirus is a thing, it's a way that you can get your Modern or Legacy fix from the comfort of your own home, and you can play Magic anytime you want, at 2 a.m. in your underwear, while you're eating a thing of Ben & Jerry's. Magic Online doesn't care. You can do it however you want to, whenever you want to. So the convenience is another really big reason. So those are the reasons to play Magic Online. But now let's talk about actually playing the game and how you start doing it. So we are going to jump right into it, start talking about getting started on Magic Online, but since today's video is pretty long, I want to give you a quick overview of the topics and let you know that all of these topics will have timestamps in a pinned comment and in the description. So if you want to jump around, feel free to use those timestamps to do it. But we are going to start off by creating an account on Magic Online. We're going to go through all the tabs on Magic Online, show you what they do, what they're for. We are going to discuss how you actually acquire cards on Magic Online, renting cards versus buying cards, as well as a demonstration of actually buying cards through a bot and importing a deck list. Then we will talk about the actual gameplay part of Magic Online, the constructed and limited tabs, how much it costs to enter events, what you can win from events, some in-game tricks as far as how to set your stops is a little different than Magic Arena in that regard. Of course, after that, the prizes you can win with events, how you can trade your prizes for real money, for tickets, so you can play more events, and then a little bit more about the economy at the end. So that's our overview for today, start to finish. So let's jump right into it, starting with creating an account. Alright, so the next step is you actually need to get Magic Online on your computer. And we're not going to spend a ton of time on this. It's 2020. I figure that most of you can figure out how to download a video game, create an account. That's pretty basic stuff. But if you have problems, let me know. I'll try to help you. Let me know in the comments. But what you need to do, download it. www.mtgo.com. Magic the Gathering Online, if you're trying to remember the abbreviation. Scroll down a little bit on the webpage. Good website to know anyway. They got a bunch of different stuff on here and post announcements and whatnot. But down here at the bottom, download now. Also, a little bit further down, system requirements, if that's interesting to you. So you click download now button. That's going to give you the little setup thing. And then I'll let you figure out that part. Click through that, go through the prompt. It'll take a little bit to download. And then you will eventually, once the program installs, you'll end up on this screen. This is kind of the load loading screen for Magic the Gathering Online. Once you have an account, you'll put your username and password in here. But because you're new to Magic Online, you got to create an account. So you got to click this prompt. You got to enter your birthday. So we'll click that stuff in here. Enter your country. This will all be personalized based on you. Enter your email, name, desired screen name. This is tough because I don't think you can change your screen name. So you got to pick something good. I think I got it. All right, so claim your name. Click next. Now you gotta do the password, security questions. Again, I'll let you figure this stuff out. But I do want to go through this because I actually want to have a new account so you can see what it's like. So anyway, user agreement, private policy, you know how to do this with websites. They'll send you a code to your email, so then you'll jump over to your email. You will put the code in, boom. You have successfully made a Magic Online account. And one thing to mention about this, you do want to be pretty secure with your passwords and stuff because unlike Arena, which you still want to be secure with that, but unlike Arena, Magic Online, you have real value. Like if you decide you want to stop playing Magic Online, I think right now my main account probably has like $5,000-$6,000 worth of cards in it. So it's a meaningful amount of money over time that just kind of adds up in there. So you don't want to actually lose access to it, get it hacked or something. Okay, so the first time you load Magic Online, it's going to give you a couple of prompts. You won't see this every time. Talk about what you get in your account. So one thing to mention is Magic Online is now free to create an account. It used to cost $10 right off the bat, but now you can create a Magic Online account for free, start doing some new player stuff for free, get some cards for free. But if you want to start doing everything, trading, chat, using the store fully, you are going to have to use an upgraded account, which will cost $10. You do get like $10 or more in value back, but keep that in mind. But you can check things out for free. So this is going to depend on you specifically. Confirm your eligibility for stuff. I believe that the answer should be yes for most people, but you know you better than I know you. So confirm your stuff. Open the starter kit, and this is going to actually offer a guide if you're interested, and it's going to jump you from the home page into your collection tab and basically show off what you're getting here. These are the starter cards that you get for free when you start a new account. So we were on the home page. It automatically jumped us to the collection tab here. The collection tab is where you see all your cards. And as you can see, there's a bunch of filters here. I believe all the cards they give you with the starter kit are in standard, but you can filter by format set. One of the upsides of Magic Online is the deck builder is actually very, very good. I use this for building decks, even that I don't want to play on Magic Online, just because the searching and filtering really helpful. So these are all the cards you get. I believe that it's one of every uncommon in standard, two of every common in standard. This is where you see your cards. So now, before we go more into the nuts and bolts of things, let's do a quick overview of what everything on Magic Online does. So collection tab, this is where you can find all your cards. You will also find all of your in-game currency. On Magic Online, there's actually two main forms of in-game currency and these new player points, which aren't one of the main forms. On Magic Online, discounting the new player points that we just saw in our account, those are used to enter very narrow specific new player events. You might as well use them because they're free value. You get some not very good, but prizes are offered if you do well in the events and you can learn the client. But the two main forms of currency on Magic Online are event ticks and Playpoints. These are the currencies that basically run the game. So event ticks are the primary currency, the best currency on Magic Online. Event ticks allow you to do literally everything. So if you need event ticks, the easiest way to get them is from the Magic Online store. They sell them here. They're $1. And when this says $1, they are actually worth $1. If you decide you want to get rid of your Magic Online account, you're done with Magic Online, there are reputable vendors like Card Hoarder that will buy your event ticks for almost $1, usually like 95 cents a piece. So you spend $1 on them, but then if you end up with a bunch in your account and you don't want to play Magic Online anymore, you can get real actual dollars back out of them. Event tickets do everything. You use them to buy cards, you use them to buy booster packs, you can use them to enter events. It is the good currency on Magic Online. So that's event ticks. We also have Playpoints, and Playpoints is a secondary currency that is much narrower. Playpoints does exactly one thing. Playpoints, you can't trade them, you can't buy cards with them, anything like that. You can use them to enter into events, and then you can win prizes from those events. So if you are just entering events, Playpoints are just as good as event ticks in that exact same way. However, the way you get Playpoints is also different. The only way Playpoints enter the system is as prizes for events. So basically, all you do with Playpoints is enter leagues, drafts, whatever events you want to play, and then if you do well in those events, you get Playpoints back. So you slowly will build up a stockpile of them. As far as ratios, event ticks we talked about, they're literally $1. Playpoints, basically 10 Playpoints equals 1 event tick. So my biggest piece of advice for you is use your Playpoints first. If you have Playpoints in your account, because you can't use Playpoints to buy cards, you can't use them in trades, they're locked into your account, always use those first to enter events if you have both tickets and Playpoints. If you don't have any Playpoints, then you got to use tickets, that's fine. But always use these first because event tickets are much more flexible. They are much more real in the sense you can turn them into actual physical currency. So that is the basis of the economy on Magic Online. Card-wise, this is where you build your decks with the card tab of your collection tab. If you would like to make a deck, I guess I'll walk you through that right now since we're here. You'll see down here, got some options. Adding a deck, you'll click on that, and then this gives you two options. Either you will build the deck in Magic Online, which would mean you would go over here, you would type in whatever, blah, 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 deck name, choose a format, click OK, and it will give you a deck pop up here, and you can literally just drag and drop cards or right click and add cards to the deck. The other option is to import a deck. Let's say you were over on mtggoldfish.com. You were looking through the metagame page and you're like, I really want to play Bant Snowblade. You can click on a Bant Snowblade deck. You'll see on all of the deck lists on Goldfish, there's a download option. If you click download, it'll download it onto your computer. And then if you go back to Magic Arena and click on the import tab and go to wherever your downloads go, mine go to downloads, you'll see the deck list there. You click on it, click OK. It will automatically import that entire deck list. And important to note here, you'll see that all of the cards, I think, in this deck have this kind of weird frilly border around them, when, like, Nyxborn Courser does not. This means you do not actually have that version of the card in your collection. So you don't actually have these cards, but you can see what cards you do need. So that's the collection tab. Basically, you use it to build decks, you use it to import decks that you've built on Goldfish or whatever you use for building your decks. So that is the collection tab. Then there's two gameplay tabs, essentially. Constructed, we'll get to this in a minute, but this is where you find constructed matches. Then you have limited. This is where you find all the limited matches. And then there are two more tabs. You can see that trade is right now ghosted out. We're going to fix that in a minute with the store tab. So if you go to the store tab, this is where all the economic activity on Magic Online starts for the most part. But as you can see, because we're a new account, we actually don't have access to anything except upgrade your account kit for $5, which I would say if you're going to play Magic Online, you just got to do it. You can't do much without upgrading your account. You can kind of click through the tabs. You can play stuff with your new player tickets, but you can't trade. You can't buy decks from anywhere. So there's a lot that you can't do, and you're not going to be able to enter real events because you can't trade to get the tickets you need to enter events. So I would say if you're pretty confident you're going to play, just buy the Magic Online account kit. All you gotta do is click on it, add it to the cart, put in your credit card numbers, do all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm not gonna show you my credit card number. You gotta tune into the stream for that, apparently. But I'm going to get this new account kit and we'll go from there. All right, so as you can see, I bought the new account kit. You can see this immediately turned on the rest of the store. It also opened up the trade tab, which we didn't have before. And if we go back to our collection and go to other products, we get this account upgrade kit, which I'm actually not 100% sure what's in it, but we are going to open it. If you ever have sealed product in your account and you want to open it, if you right click it, it'll give you the option to open it. Warning, don't open booster packs. In general, it's a horrible plan as far as building a collection. You are much better off selling your booster packs and buying the cards you need than you are opening booster packs, unless you're drafting. So let's open this account upgrade kit, see what they actually give us. So we got 10 more new player points. We got 100 play points. And then we also got, I think, another copy of every uncommon. Okay, so we're up to 2 of every uncommon and 4 of every common, I believe, for all standard sets. Yeah, all sets currently legal in standard. So still, you're not going to be able to do a ton with this, but you have a lot of cards in an absolute sense. We have 3,000, 4,000 cards in our collection now just for starting an account. The other thing we got, if we go back to our other product tabs, are these Playpoints. And these Playpoints, they definitely are helpful. We are going to be able to use those in a minute to enter into an event. Because remember, what do Playpoints do? Playpoints enter us into events, and they're prizes for events, so we can then enter more events. What they don't do is actually get us the cards you need. And if you look at our collection, if we're going to jump into a constructed event, we're going to need more cards. In all honesty, like, we can have fun with the 2 of every uncommon, 4 of every common in standard, mess around, maybe build a casual deck or something, but you're not really going to be able to play a Pioneer event, a Legacy event, a Modern event with standard commons and uncommons only. So the next thing we need to talk about is how you can acquire cards on Magic Online. So you see this trade tab up here. The trade tab, if you're new to Magic Online, you might think, oh, this is how I get my cards. In all honesty, the trade tab is not the best way to get cards, and it's actually one of the harder way to get cards. There are exceptions, with the biggest being if you just need one card or a couple of cards and you don't want to go through the full process of getting cards. You can use the trade tab, and we'll talk about that later. But when it comes to getting cards, the easiest way to describe this is to jump over to MTG Goldfish, I think. So let's jump over to mtggoldfish.com. Make sure that our prices are filtered to online and not paper. And let's say you want to play Mono White Devotion, one of the hot decks in Pioneer. You go to that page on the metagame, you can see the main build is 184 ticks, $184, $1 one tick. If you click on the deck, you'll see a whole bunch of different builds, and the prices do vary a lot. You see some builds all the way up to $328, other builds around $200, $186. So let's go with this, I don't know, $181 build. Let's click on this one. So you can see we have a deck list here. Let's say you want to play this deck on Magic Online. How do you go about doing that in the easiest way possible? And here is where we have to talk about the 2 ways of getting cards on Magic Online. One of the biggest new additions to Magic Online are card rental programs. In the past, if you wanted to play a deck, you basically had to buy the deck. Now, there are programs through Card Hoarder, one of our sponsors, and other places that allow you to rent the cards. And what you choose to do between renting and buying really depends on your situation. The upside of renting is, if you're going to play a whole bunch of decks, it's cheaper. The cool thing about renting decks is you pay a flat price per week, 3% of your loan balance. So let's say you want to have $200 in your loan account, and you can basically have $200, any $200 worth of cards at any time. You would pay 3% of that a week, so $6 a week, to be able to always have $200 worth of cards. This means you could rent this Mono White Devotion list, and let's say you're like, I don't know, this deck isn't doing it for me. You could go back to the Pioneer metagame page, look around, and find another Lotus Breach, $103. So you could just trade back the Mono White Devotion deck anytime you wanted to, an hour after you rented it, a day after you rented it, 10 days, 2 months after you rented it, trade it back, get Lotus Breach. As easy as that. And then let's say maybe you play a league with Lotus Breach and you're like, I don't know, this isn't for me. You can trade it back, grab a Orzhov Auras. Maybe you get Orzhov Auras loaded into your client and you're like, I don't know, this doesn't look as cool as I thought. You could immediately return it and grab Mono Black Aggro. All those are decks that are under that $200 loan balance, and you're still just going to pay that $6 a week, no matter how many times you do that. You could switch decks every hour of every day. As long as you stay within that $200 price range, you're only going to pay that $6 a week. So the biggest upside of loan programs is you can play a ton of different decks for the same price. When, if you go back to what we were talking about on the metagame page, and you actually look through this stuff, if you are going to buy Mono White Devotion, buy Lotus Breach, buy Orzhov Auras, buy Mono Black Aggro, buy Mono Red Aggro, that's really going to add up. You're going to spend $1,000 or something to have all those decks because there's not much overlap between them. But with the loan programs, you have the ability to churn through those decks at lightning speed. So that is the biggest upside of load programs, along with the fact that the upfront cost is way less. Obviously, if you want to play Mono White Devotion, the deck we were talking about, maybe you don't want to spend $200, $182 to start off. So instead of spending $182, you sign up for the loan program, you pay $6 a week for a $200 balance, and you're spending $6 up front a week. Obviously, though, if you're going to do this for a long time, let's say you only want to play Mono White Devotion, and that's only that you want to play for 6 months. Over the course of time, that $6 a week is going to add up. So the biggest value of loan programs, it doesn't cost as much to start. You can switch decks easily. The biggest drawback is you don't actually own the cards. This could be an upside or a downside, but the downside is if you just buy Mono White Devotion, and then let's say a couple months from now you're like, I think I'm done with these cards, you could theoretically sell it back for maybe close to the same price. The Moto economy works like the paper economy. Maybe they reprint Walking Ballista, and it ends up being a $5 card instead of a $15 card. So there is risk, just like there is with the paper Magic economy. But if you own the cards, then you can sell them back for value, when with renting, you're just kind of paying that fee to be able to use the cards and don't actually own them. My general advice is, if you think you're just going to play like one cheap deck forever, maybe you're going to play Pauper, which is a cheap format anyway, and you know you really love, I don't know, Pauper Tron or Pauper Affinity, it would be better for you, most likely, to just buy the deck, especially since the price is only $37, $28. Pauper's really cheap. If you're just going to play that one deck forever, you might as well just buy the deck. On the other hand, if you want to be able to play all the decks in the Pauper meta even a cheap format like Pauper, you're probably going to be better off getting a loan program with a, I don't know, $100 balance, $50 balance. Most of the decks are under that. Pay a couple of bucks each week and be able to switch whenever you want to. So the biggest upside to buying is you actually own the cards so you can sell them in the future, but you lose a lot of flexibility and the upfront cost is much more expensive. So normally, my advice to people is, if you are going to play a bunch of different decks or think you might want to play a bunch of different decks, then I would recommend using a loan program if possible. I would recommend Card Hoarder. That's who I use. They are a sponsor of ours. There are other options out there as well. But I would recommend using a loan program. It's really convenient. The upfront cost is lower. If you're going to just play one deck, then go ahead and buy it. Maybe with 2 decks it would be the same. But if you're someone who's going to switch around a lot, you want to play every Against Odds deck or every Budget Magic deck or something, it's much easier to use a loan program and much more cost effective in the long run. So let's go back to our Mono White Devotion build. So that is kind of the description of loan programs. You're going to have to decide what is right for you as far as loan programs versus buying. So the next thing we got to talk about really quickly is bots. Bots are essentially Magic Online vendors, except they are mostly automated. If you hear people say bots, don't think of them as this weird thing. It's essentially the same as paper vendors. So you can see Card Hoarder is one that is prominent on the MTG Goldfish site. Card Hoarder is kind of, let's say, the, I don't know, Channel Fireball of Magic Online. So if you want to buy cards on Magic Online, it's actually very, very similar to buying them in paper. We have this little tab here for Card Hoarder. You can click on it. It's going to automatically load the deck into a Card Hoarder page, very similar to like whatever, Card Kingdom, Channel Fireball, Star City Games, any big paper vendor website. And then all you gotta do is click add to the cart. It's going to add the cards to the cart. You are going to have to create an account on Card Hoarder. Email, password, confirm password, pretty straightforward and easy. So you can fill that stuff up so you actually have an account created. After you are logged in, it'll take you back to your cart. You got to make sure that you have the right Magic Online username printed here. You have different payment options. Crypto, PayPal, and event tickets are the main one. The loan account, we talked about that a little bit. You do have to sign up for that if you want to use that. So you have these options. You can choose whichever one's best for you. I will mention that you get a 8% cash discount if you use either cash or cryptocurrencies. So I would encourage you, if you have that as an option, take advantage of it. I mean, 8% is 8%. You're getting like almost $16, $15 off of this $200 order. Definitely worth it if possible. As far as event tickets, if you choose the event tickets on Magic Online option, what you're going to have to do is go back into Magic Online, go back to the store, and then actually buy event tickets. Event tickets we talked about are $1 each. So you would add 184, 200, whatever number around there to your cart. And then you would complete the purchase through Magic Online and have them in your account. That is a fine option too, although, as we mentioned before, you actually save money if you can use crypto or PayPal compared to using event tickets. So choose whatever option is best for you, and then you're just going to click place order. And I am going to do a smaller order. I don't really want this whole $200 deck. I'm just going to order a couple of cheap cards to show you how the process works. But the process would work the same with an entire deck as it would with a single card. So we're going to choose the event tick option because it's actually the most complicated option. On the other hand, the process works the same for PayPal or cryptocurrency. You'll just pay through the website first. So let's place our order for 4 Arcana Owls. I know this isn't going to help us play much, but it will show you. We have it set to event ticks on Magic Online. So what we're going to have to do now is get some event ticks. So we go to the store on Magic Online. Let's just add like 5 event ticks to the cart for now. I think that'll be fine. So we add 5 event ticks to the cart. But remember, if you're paying for a full deck with event ticks, this number is going to have to be higher. So add it to the cart. Put in your credit card information. Not going to show you that still. Check out the stream. And as you can see, we already got a message from Card Hoarder trying to deliver our cards. But we got to get our event tickets first. So this is our chat from Card Hoarder. As you can see, we successfully got our 5 event tickets. So now we have this message from Card Hoarder. So for actually getting the cards, you'll get this message from an automated bot on Card Hoarder that just says, I got your order ready. I will open a trade for you. Since you chose event ticks, make sure you have those tickets in your binder. So we have to do one more thing before we actually complete this trade. We need to go back to our collection tab. We need to create a trade binder. We talked about creating decks. Creating a trade binder is actually very similar. You just go down here, click add trade binder to your collection. You can import them. We don't need to do that though. Let's just make a binder called Trades Good. Click OK. And then we have this Trades Good binder. We need to go to our other products. We have our event tickets here. We can just drag or drop or right click and do add all. So these are added to our trade binder now. Now we're ready to get our deck, or actually Arcana Owls, but get our deck from Card Hoarder. So we go to this message that they sent us and we just type yes. That will trigger the bot. We had to click it again because it took us a little bit longer. So they will start a trade with us. All you got to do is select your binder from this drop down list. Full trade. We apparently made one called Trades earlier. So Trades Good is the one that we put our tickets in. So click that, hit accept. Card Hoarder will pop up a trade. This is what a trade looks like on Magic Online. There's our 4 copies of Arcana Owl, which would be a full deck if we were buying a full deck. Card Hoarder will take our event ticket automatically. And as you can see, I got to keep moving myself around the screen because of where stuff is on Magic Online. As you can see down here in the corner, these 4 Arcana Owls were only actually 4 cents. Card Hoarder is going to take an entire dollar, an entire event ticket, but it's going to save 0.96 of a dollar. So 96 cents, 0.96 of a tick. So next time we do a trade with Card Hoarder, we will already have 96 cents in our bank, essentially, that is saved as store credit. So that will automatically be deducted from our next order. Just click submit on the bottom. It's going to ask you to confirm just for a little extra security. Click confirm, and then it pops up. We got our cards. They showed up. And it's as simple as that to actually buy cards through mtggoldfish.com, through Card Hoarder. So now that we actually have the cards for our deck, we're going to jump back to my main account and show you actually how to get a deck into your account and start the league. So we have the cards from Card Hoarder. The easiest way to actually get the deck is just to do it from Goldfish. If you click the download link, we talked about this briefly before, it'll download. Then you can get out of Goldfish for the time being. Go back to your account setting. And what you need to click is add a deck. So if you click add a deck here, there's 2 options. You could, if you wanted to, set the format to Pioneer, type in Mono White Devotion, then you could manually search for Heliod, add 4 copies, then you could jump back to the list and be like, what else do I need? That's way too clunky though. The much easier way to do this is just to go back to add a deck, click add a deck, do import, have the file that you downloaded from Goldfish, Mono White Devotion, click on it. It already sets the name. You can change it if you want, sets the format automatically. Click on it and you just have a deck and you have all the cards in it. You can still customize the cards. Maybe you want specific basic lands. You can search for planes and look for, I don't know, the art that you want if you have a bunch of different arts, but you have the deck and it's ready to play. So now we actually have a deck. The next step is to talk about events. So remember, we started our account with 10 play points, and 10 play points is actually a good number to start playing events. So one thing we can do with these play points is play limited. If you go to the limited tab, you'll see there's a few different tabs: draft, sealed, Gauntlet is where you will use your new player points. There's also new player sealed. So if you want to just use your new player points, I definitely recommend using those. You can play quite a few Phantom events. Phantom meaning you don't get to keep the cards with just your new player points. So use your new player points, but you could just go to draft, be like, all right, I want to play a vintage cube. It costs 10 event ticks or 100 play points. They gave me 100 play points. I can just do a vintage cube right now. Click on it. It will confirm that you want to join, and you'll join the event. Also, with all events, you can click up here by the event name to view prizes. So for limited, Phantom limited in specific, where you don't keep the cards, basically 2-1 is a break-even point. Drafts are 3 rounds. If you go 3-0, it's great. You make money. It's awesome. If you go 2-1, you get your money back. If you go worse than 2-1, you lose money, although 1 and 2 does still get you half of your play points back. So that's limited. Constructed is roughly similar. If you click on the Constructed tab, you'll see a ton of different formats. Standard, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Pauper, Commander, a bunch of random stuff under Specialty, and within these tabs, the easiest way to think about how they're set up is the least competitive events are down at the bottom, up to the most competitive events at the top. Probably use Pioneer because Mono White Devotion is a Pioneer deck. So in Pioneer, we got our Mono White Devotion deck. Pioneer Open Play, I'm not actually sure how many people use this, but in theory, you can do a best of 1 match. Mostly ignore that one. Tournament Practice is really good to know. This is a great starting point. Tournament Practice means best of 3 matches, just like you would play in a more competitive tournament, but there's no prizes on the line. You are just testing out your deck. You are being able to get used to the client. There's no prizes, no cost to enter. So this is kind of the starting point. Then there's a 2-player queue, which is a paid match. It costs 20 play points or 2 event ticks to enter, and then the winner gets 30 play points, loser gets 5 play points, and you play a single match against a single opponent. Winner gets a 30 play points, loser gets a 5, and then up at the top we have leagues. Leagues cost 100 play points to enter, or 10 event ticks, same difference, and you have really good prizes actually. In leagues, these are some of the most valuable events once you get used to the client, because if you go 3-2, so 60% win percentage, if you go 3-2 though, you get your money back and you get a treasure chest, which is worth maybe 2.5 ticks, give or take. So you're actually slowly generating a profit by going 3-2 in leagues. So that's how you enter event. All you got to do is click out here. It'll confirm, and then you're into the event. My advice to you as a new Magic Online player is at least do a few games in the tournament practice room, mostly just to get used to how the gameplay screen on Magic Online works, and that's going to be the next thing we're going to talk about. We're actually going to jump into a 1-player game. You see there's this create button down here. If you want to, you can just goldfish your deck against yourself. So we're going to just fire up a 1-player game just so I can show you how stops work, a couple of important hotkeys in the gameplay screen. They're the same as if you were playing against someone else. You've probably seen it before in videos or whatever. This is our life total. We have some pop-outs here for graveyards and exile zone reveal cards. Worth noting with these, if you click on them, they will pop open like this. And then you can also click on this arrow and have like a fully popped out, move it wherever you want, graveyard. So if you're like playing Dredge or something and you want your graveyard to be bigger than your hand, this is the way you can do it. The arrow is your control key. So those are your controls: life total, cards in deck, cards in hand. Down here, there's a bunch of different options. I guess I gotta move myself. There's also some controls down here at the bottom. I think the most relevant for a new player is chat and game log. I believe chat will be off by default. If you click down here, you can do show chat. This is where your opponent could talk to you, and you could talk to your opponent down underneath where my face is. Also, you want to have show game log on a lot of times. This is going to show you a running list of all the actions that have taken place in the game. So if you miss something, that's where you can catch up. So keep that in mind. You can also ignore chat if you don't want to chat with opponents. You can keep it hidden if you want to, but that's where you control it. The arrow jumps you out of the game itself and back to the starting screen. And then there's a bunch of settings here. Most of these are not super relevant. Stack abilities automatically can be beneficial, but most of these things you can do with hotkeys or by right-clicking on the battlefield and getting this drop-down. On the drop-down, there's a bunch of different options. One of the most important ones that you want to know, actually there's a couple of important ones. Turn off auto yields, we'll get to that in a minute, that is important. View sideboard will let you see your sideboard, especially relevant in games 2 and games 3. If you forget maybe what you took out, what you brought in, you can pop up your sideboard and see. So all right, we're in a game, we have a hand. You can see it gives us options up here in the corner, whether we want to keep her mulligan. We will I guess we'll keep. I mean, we're playing a one-player game. I want to show you a couple of specific things. We have combo pieces. We are going to need lands to actually make them work. So, all right, before we start playing the game, another very important note here on Magic Online, and I guess I will leave the chat up so you can see the game log in the chat. Another important thing to note about Magic Online, which is very different if you're coming from Magic Arena, is you have full control over your game of Magic and your opponent's game of Magic. You can see this bar going across with these little markers that you can check and uncheck. These are your stops. And if you're familiar with Magic, it's got every phase: untap, upkeep, draw, main phase, beginning combat, attack, block, damage, end combat, main phase, end step. You can manually set stops wherever you want them. You can also do it to your opponent. We don't have an opponent right now, but this is essentially how I have my stop set. Is basically like this. You want a main phase stop. You want mostly your combat stops because of combat tricks and timing of when you need to cast them. End step can also be important, but let's say you're playing a deck with Vendilion Click and Legacy, and you really need to draw a step, Vendilion Click your opponent. All you got to do is click on the draw step on your opponent's stop, which you actually can't see right now because we don't actually have an opponent, but your opponent will have a stop right across from yours right here. So you just click on that, and then next time you go to the draw step, it will stop. So this is mostly how I'd have my set set up. The downside of having too many stops is it's going to slow down your game. So if timing out is a concern, that is something to be aware of. Then we have the actual game itself. And here, there's two important hotkeys that you really need to know. One of those is one. You can see up here in the corner, there's this OK button. Normally, you have to click OK to go through every single phase. One is OK. You can just click instead of keep going back and forth, back and forth. When the board gets big, it's even more important. So you don't have to keep moving your mouse up to the corner and manually clicking OK. So that's one of the hotkeys. Another really important hotkey is 6. These are the two hotkeys I use. There's a bunch of other ones. I will make sure they're shown if you want to do it, and you can customize your hotkeys how you want them. If you click 6, what's going to happen is you pass the turn. That says, no matter what my opponent does, I am not doing anything this turn. So let's say we are all tapped out. We're going to cast our Anafenza here. We're all tapped out. Instead of going F2, okay, beginning a combat phase, F2, attack phase, main phase, F2, end step, we can just click F6 and jump through all that automatically. So those are the two most important hotkeys to get used to. 2 to click OK, essentially, to one action. 6 to go through the rest of your turn. Once you're tapped out and you know you can't do anything, maybe it's your opponent's turn, you're all tapped out, you don't have anything you can bluff, just F6, it'll not eat your clock away, which is a concern for some players, especially new players. The other thing I want to show you is the combo, and we're getting close to it. So let's pass through the turn until we're ready to combo here. So we'll play Heliod. Next turn we can combo. Just F6, pass the turn. All right, so we are going to play the Heliod combo. I'm sure you know how this works. We give the Walking Ballista lifelink. But this is a really important feature to get to know on Magic Online. So we have a lifelinking Walking Ballista. What we want to do is ping our opponent to death. We're going to do it to ourselves since we're in a one-player match. So we remove a counter from Walking Ballista to ping. That's going to trigger Heliod. Normally what we have to do is click on Heliod, click on Walking Ballista, then click OK to add another counter. Right-click on Walking Ballista, remove a counter to ping. That triggers Heliod. But what we could do here is if we right-click on the trigger, you see this option to save targets? We can click on that, click on Walking Ballista, and then this is going to mean every time Heliod triggers, until we right-click and do turn off auto yields, it is automatically going to target Walking Ballista with the ability. The other thing we can do is, after we have this set up, we can right-click on the trigger. It gives us the option to always yield to triggers from Heliod Suncrown. If we click on that, now watch what happens. We take and we ping with Walking Ballista. Heliod triggered. It automatically knows to put the counter on Walking Ballista, and it automatically knows to resolve, so we don't have to click OK a bunch of times. So all of a sudden, from having to go through, I'm going to turn off auto yields again. So all of a sudden, from having to go 1 click, 2 click on our opponent, 3 click for Heliod, going to Walking Ballista, 4 click for OK, once we set the process up for this combo, we click our opponent, Heliod, save targets as Walking Ballista, click on the trigger, yield to the targets. Now look how fast this combo is. It's one click. Walking Ballista, click our opponent. Well, I guess two. Walking Ballista, click our opponent. Walking Ballista, click our opponent. Walking Ballista, click our opponent. So this speeds up the combo like 100 times. So huge piece of advice for you if you're going to be playing competitively, get used to some of these tricks on Magic Online because it goes a long way to making sure you're not going to have to worry about timing out. Get used to instead of manually clicking OK. Get used to sixing when you have nothing to do to save on your clock. And if you're playing a deck with synergies like this, make sure to take advantage of being able to save targets, do that other stuff. We can even save targets with Walking Ballista on our opponent or on ourselves. And now look at how quick this is. All we have to do is click, remove a counter, boom, pings. The whole process is completely automated. We go from 4 or 5 clicks to deal a single damage to 1 click to go through the entire loop of the combo. So learn to automate your combos because it will save you timing out. It will earn you more prizes. It's a really huge deal. And this is a feature that we just don't have. The same with being able to set every stop manually on Magic Arena. On Magic Arena, you either full control and everything is stopped forever, or you're auto mode where it just kind of goes through as it wants. On Magic Online, you have the control over that on your turn and your opponent's turn. On Magic Online, you have control over how to set up your combos, how efficient you can make them. So take advantage of all these tricks on Magic Online because it'll greatly speed up your game, make sure that you don't time out, and improve your win rate in the long run as you get used to those. So I think that's all you really need to know about the battlefield screen. The other thing I want to show you is prizes real quick. So prizes on Magic Online come in 2 main forms. Actually, sort of 3 main forms. Some of them are a little bit advanced. The main ones are you spend play points to get into your events, and then you get play points back. As you can see, you get an increasing amount of play points based on how well you perform in something like a league. Then you get treasure chests, which are what we're going to talk about. The other form of like currency is you get qualifier points. There's also PTQs on Magic Online. We're not really focusing on those too much. If you know the basics of how to play Magic Online, you'll be able to figure that out. PTQs on Magic Online work pretty much like PTQs in paper. These qualifier points, if you win enough leagues, you can get into a special event that can have big prize pools and qualify you for the yearly championship, the Mox Championship. But mostly we're focused on play points to keep entering events in treasure chests. So let's say we just went 4-1 in a league. We spent our 100 play points that they gave us. We got back 120. So we're already plus 20 play points, like $2 worth of play points. We also get these 5 treasure chest boosters. So treasure chest boosters will show up under your, if you go to your collection, go to your other product tab, sealed product. You will see them right here. They look like a treasure chest. So what do you do with treasure chests? Here you have 2 options. So first off, you can sell your treasure chests to get event tickets. So I'm gonna show you how to do this really quick because I don't think we've actually done this yet. We haven't used the trade tab. So let's say I'm gonna get these out of here. So we have our trade binder that we made earlier. Let's say we just got 4-1 in a league. We got these treasure chests. We can add them to our trade binder. And then we can go to the trade tab, which is, while trade tab is not great for buying cards for the most part, it is good for selling cards. And in the trade tab, I'm going to give you the name of 3 bots that I use almost exclusively. One of them is GoatBots, very reputable, very fast, very good at what they do. One of them is Card Hoarder. That is another bot that I use very often. And then the other one is MTGO Traders. Those are 3 very reputable bots. I consider them what like Card Kingdom, Channel Fireball, SCG games are in the paper world. MTGO Traders, Card Hoarder, and GoatBots are basically the equivalent of that in Magic Online. So we have these treasure chests that we earned in a league in our binder. What we can do is look for, like this is MTGO Traders buy bot. We can go to Card Hoarder, look for a buy bot. Buy bot means they're going to actually buy the cards that you have in your binder. So if we click on this buy bot, so make sure you click on the correct binder, click OK. It will take you into a trade with a bot, very similar to how we got cards. They're going to, instead of allowing us to take cards and put them in the you will receive area, they're just going to grab cards from our binder. If they're in the binder, they assume that we want to trade them. We can, over here it says remove them by typing a number, like number 1 will remove all of them. So basically, the 5 treasure chests we earned, Card Hoarder Buybot will give us almost 10 ticks. With our extra credit that we have saved over from earlier, it'll give us 10 ticks. So what we would do is just go to other products, look for the ticks tab. These are the event ticks. We could add 10 of them to our binder, click submit, and then we got 10 ticks. So then we can use those ticks to buy cards we want. We can use those ticks to enter events if we run out of Playpoints, but always use your Playpoints first. So that's one thing you can do with the treasure chests you earn. The other thing you can do with the treasure chests you earn is open them. And this is kind of a complicated topic. In general, on Magic Online, you never want to open sealed products. You never want to open booster box. If you play like a Theros Beyond Death draft on Magic Online, part of your prizes will be Theros Beyond Death boosters. You do not want to open them. I know on Arena you just have to open them. On Magic Online, don't. Do what we just did there. You earn the boosters, add them to a binder, sell them. You will almost always come out way ahead doing it that way when you look at expected values. Treasure chests, on the other hand, what is inside these is a mixture of Playpoints and cards from Modern up through Standard. The value, there's high variance in it, but over the long run, I think that opening them is actually okay. We're going to open them to show what they look like. So if you want to open sealed product, which again, never do this with booster packs. Always 100% of the time sell booster packs. Do not open them. It does not work. You will not come out ahead. Treasure chests though, right click. You can do open one of these. You could open them all if you wanted to, but let's open a treasure chest. We won this in our league. We open it up. What do we get? 5 play points and a couple of completely worthless cards. Although, if you are just trying to build a collection, having more cards in your collection in mass is a good thing. But this Might Evokes, if we were going to go buy it, it would be less than a cent. Same with Stratus Ice, I assume, probably around a cent. 5 play points, though, that works towards entering another league. I guess we'll just open the rest of them so you can see how it works. Open another treasure chest, a couple of random rares that don't have any value, kind of commandery stuff, 5 more play points. Haven't really hit any exciting... Hopefully we hit at least one exciting chest so you can say, okay, so there's an actual exciting chest. We get 5 play points. More importantly, we opened a Primeval Titan. So if we go over to MTG Goldfish and look up Primeval Titan, Modern Masters 2015 edition, it's around $4 on Magic Online. So that's actually pretty good. We also got this promo crop rotation, which... Promo crop rotation... 44 cents. So if we had sold that treasure chest, we would have gotten about $2 for it. Instead, we got a $4 card, a 50-cent card, and about 50 cents worth of play points. So that was actually a pretty good chest for us. Then we have a couple more to go. We'll open the rest of them. So that was actually a decent chest. Not insane. You will see here, we get a Spider Silk Armor, which sees Play and Pauper. You can get more play points. You can actually get up to 1,000 play points, which is like $100. You can also open complete sets of cards, which are extremely valuable. So there are some really high-end like lottery ticket opens, along with a bunch of chests that look mostly like this. A couple of random rares, 5 play points. Then, if you wanted to, the same process we used to sell our treasure chests, let's say you're glad that you got some value, a $4 card out of Primeval Titan, but you don't really want Primeval Titan in specific. You would rather have that be, I don't know, some Scry lands or something. You can do the same thing we just did with the treasure chest. You find it in your collection, add it to your trade binder, go back to the trade tab, go to Card Hoarder, GoatBots, MTGO Traders, one of the legit bots, trade it, they will give you tickets for it, or you can just take cards of equivalent value. So that is basically how the economy works. That is how prizes work. Since we're talking prizes and value, I want to mention one more thing really quickly. We're almost done, I promise. Just to make it explicitly clear, the Magic Online economy, it's not like the Arena economy. It is like the paper Magic economy, where your cards can be turned into real money. This is my personal Moto collection page on Goldfish where I keep track of all the cards I got. So for example, this Ashiok Dreamrender promo, 35 tickets. I could take this Ashiok, sell it to Card Hoarder, whatever bot we've been talking about, get probably slightly less than this because it's buy listing, maybe 30. Let's say I get 30 tickets for it. I can then sell those tickets at 95 cents a piece to Card Hoarder, wherever, and turn that into real money. So even though the prices on Magic Online might seem high at first glance, it's important to realize that compared to Arena, where all of your cards are just locked into the account, you can play with them, which is awesome, maybe even win prizes in a tournament with them, which is also awesome. You can never get value back out of them because they can't be traded, sold, you can't sell your account according to the terms of service. On Magic Online, all these cards you open, like when we got that Primeval Titan a minute ago in the treasure chest, 4 tickets, that's exciting, but remember, 4 tickets is actually $4. If we ever needed to, we could turn that Primeval Titan, that digital Primeval Titan from a treasure chest, into actual $4 and, I don't know, buy a cup of coffee or something. So make sure to keep that in mind. One other thing along the same lines is Magic Online also has redemption, where for the most recent standard sets, like Theros Beyond Death, Throne of Eldraine, if you collect a full digital set on Magic Online of that set, you can tell Wizards, I would like to trade this for physical cards. So if you collect one of each card from Theros Beyond Death, foil or non-foil, you can do it with foil sets as well, you can pay $25 and Wizards will actually ship you a physical set of Theros Beyond Death, which is another way where it kind of reinforces the realness of the Magic Online economy compared to Arena, where on Arena you definitely can't get a complete set of Theros Beyond Death and be like, hey, I'd rather have physical cards. So keep that in mind as well. That is an option that can be beneficial if you happen to get a big collection on Magic Online. And I think that's basically everything you need to know about Magic Online, except actually there's one thing that I forgot that I should mention. Card Hoarder has a program for new players. As you can see, if you go to cardhoarder.com/MTGO welcome gift and you create an account within the last 30 days, they will actually give you 4 tickets worth of bot credit, which we were just talking, like, this Primeval Titan, modern staple, is 4 tickets. It's actually a reasonable amount. You can build a big chunk of, like, a casual commander deck with that amount. So if you go to the Card Hoarder website, all you gotta do is put in your email, your MTGO account name, confirm that you created a new account and you're not a robot, and they will automatically, I think it takes like a day or something, they will automatically give you 4 tickets worth of bot credit. So definitely take advantage of that. Also, for casual play, I will mention there are free bots run by some of the big bots, GoatBots, Card Hoarder. If you go to the trade tab and type free bot, they will pop up. I will warn you that you are not going, and then you do the same thing. You click, you have to have some sort of binder, which whatever. But I will warn you, you're not going to get staples here. You're not going to get expensive cards here. But if you just want cards to play with for fun, you can take, I think it's, Card Hoarder is 64 cards per whatever, and there's actually a ton of different cards. A lot of Magic Online cards are pretty cheap, so as you can see, all these random commons, uncommons, there might even be a few rares that slip in, but you could go through and snag a bunch of cards for free from the free bots. So if you are brand new to Magic Online, make sure to take advantage of Card Hoarder's free gift of 4 ticks of bot credit. Make sure to raid the free bots, grab some cards, especially relevant if you're playing casually. If you're going to try to play Modern or Pioneer, probably not going to get many staples. You might find some like Disenchants or random like sideboard cards, but you're not going to find Primeval Titans or anything super crazy in there. But those are things to take advantage of as new players as well. Last but not least, a tiny bit of shameless self-promotion. If you are intrigued by Magic Online and want to see more cool decks, more awesome plays, make sure to check out mtggoldfish.com. We have tons of content, and we have a lot of content that takes place on Magic Online in specific. So if you want to see cool Pioneer decks, Modern decks, against odds, build around some janky, fun cards every single week. If you're trying to play as cheaply as possible, Budget Magic's got you covered. Pioneer, Standard, Modern, all different kinds of formats, decks that are under $100 in paper, which means they're usually even way cheaper than that on Magic Online. Plus, if casual Commander play is your thing, we have a really fun, banter-filled Moto Commander series called Commander Clash. So basically, check out mtggoldfish.com. We got tons of awesome stuff that will help you on your journey to playing Magic Online. But anyway, I think that pretty much covers Magic Online, from creating an account to why you should play Magic Online, to how you get cards, to how you can get free credit, to some of the tips and tricks in the gameplay screen with setting your shortcuts and stuff like that. So anyway, if you have any other questions, make sure to let me know in the comments. I will do my best to help and answer, but this should give you a good head start if you are trying to get into Magic Online for the first time and have some fun in older formats. So like I said in the intro, if all you're interested in is playing Standard, you might as well play Magic Arena. There really isn't a reason, at least a huge one, to play Standard on Magic Online these days. So if you're just a Standard player, play Arena. It's free to play. You don't have to buy cards. You don't got to deal with an economy. On the other hand, if you want beyond Standard formats, Pioneer, Modern, Cube Drafts, all that fun stuff, if you like having an actual economy where your cards are worth real money and you can trade them and sell them and do all that kind of stuff, Magic Online still offers a lot of value. And you will see, once you start playing it, yes, it doesn't look beautiful. It doesn't have the flashy animations, but I believe it is actually way more functional, as you saw on the gameplay screen, where we were setting combos to be automated and having full control of our stops. As far as just like playing good Magic, I actually think that Magic Online is way better for that than Magic Arena, where you only have the choice of full control or no control. You can't automate combos at all. So Magic Online, in my opinion, still offers a lot of value, especially if you're someone who is looking to play non-standard formats. So anyway, that's getting started on Magic Online. Again, if you got questions, let me know in the comments. I will do my best to help you out. Thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.